Hi, today I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of E-Heza. There'll be many features that I'm focusing on, but they will all be primarily the way in which immunizations are addressed in the system. But you'll see that it is a very comprehensive primary healthcare delivery system that works at both the health facility and community levels, and the tasks assigned to each user is based on the PIN code type. And so first today, I'm going to sign in as a community health worker using my PIN code. And here you can see the villages that I've been assigned. In E-Heza, you can only access the patient records of those living in the catchment area that you're assigned. And so as a CHW, I'm assigned to these villages. If I were a nurse or a midwife at a health facility, then I would have access to all of the patient records for anyone that lives in the catchment area or has ever been seen at the health center. So today I'm going to go to Gahihi. And this is the homepage for a community health worker. I'm going to start by showing you the family record. I'm going to pull up Mama Anna, and here you can see her combination of progress reports, which serves as her medical record. You can also see that she has her children's records attached to her record as well for easy access to family records. Here's an example of her antenatal care history. You can see by going here, the progress report and any activities that occurred during her previous pregnancy that's already been concluded. You can also see any of the documentation performed at the health center, as well as any education that was provided by the community health worker during the pregnancy. And this record is also used for demand creation because these progress reports can be sent via WhatsApp to smartphones. And this allows for women to be able to carry their records. It also allows them to see where they're getting improving, where they have any issues. This, for example, also highlights all of the lab tests, so they can carry their lab tests related to pregnancy on their smartphones. And then this progress report timeline here shows the visits that have been occurring during the pregnancy. And it also shows when fetal heart tone is noted for the first time. On this particular progress report, it's not shown. Here you could also open the new pregnancy, the current pregnancy, but we will go straight to her child, Anna. This is Anna's progress report. Here you can see a combination of her care. You can see any acute illnesses that are ongoing. In her case here, she's been diagnosed with both moderate underweight without danger signs and uncomplicated malaria. You could click here and address the uncomplicated malaria if you'd like. You could find more details. I'll click here. Here you can see all that has been done for Anna related to malaria at this point. Now, more pertinent to this particular video, you can also see all of the immunizations that Anna has received. You can see that she's up to date on most of her vaccines, completed on 2 that are appropriate for her age, but you can see that she's behind on her pneumococcal vaccine. You can also see that she is on track developmentally. You can also track her growth chart. Okay. Now you can see here for the National Child Development Agency, they asked us to also replicate their paper version of a child scorecard that asks many specific questions. including immunization, being up to date on immunizations and other interventions such as vitamin A, deworming, etc. And so this child scorecard is accessible as well as the standard pediatric report. Now, you can open an encounter through the progress reports and the health record, but I'm going to instead go to the encounter section. And I'm going to show two pieces. One is that you can choose between an individual and a group encounter. Here, you can choose a group encounter. In this particular case, we're going to choose child nutrition. Now, all of the children under 5 have been preloaded from this village, have been preloaded into E-Heza. We always do demographic uploads prior to going to new villages. So here, this allows you to take attendance. And then once you've taken attendance, you can see all of the people in attendance as individuals with their child associated with them. Or you can toggle to the activities section. Now, we currently do not have an immunization group encounter that would be appropriate for immunization campaigns, but you can see that the framework is here and would be quite easy to swap out these activities of, for example, height, MOAC, and nutrition signs for different types of vaccinations. Now, rather than the group encounter, I'm going to back out and go to the individual encounter. And here there is a wide variety of encounters that we can conduct as a community health worker. But today I'm going to do a well child visit because I noticed that baby Anna's pneumococcal vaccine was not up to date. And so I wanted to go to her home and see what was happening. So I'm going to pull Anna up. And here, I'm going to conduct a well child exam. And first, we'll do a symptom review. Everything is fine. She's doing well. In Rwanda, community health workers do check basic vital signs. That's not the case in other countries. And so in those sites, we've actually hidden the certain activities. For example, in Burundi, if a CHW doesn't conduct respiratory rate, you just hide that in the system. And let's say that baby Anna had a fever. This would immediately flag and recommend that we close this encounter and open an acute illness encounter. But instead, I'm going to back out and say she actually didn't have a fever. Okay. Now we're going to do a quick nutrition assessment. I'm going to put her height. We'll say that we did not do a head circumference today. She does not have any nutrition signs of malnutrition. And she is currently 5 kgs. You can see it immediately calculates the score for weight for age and weight for height. Now we get to the immunizations. And you can see that the only one she's behind on is the pneumococcal vaccine. In this case, because we're in the community and in Rwanda and Burundi where we operate, as well as in Somalia where we will be operating, CHWs review the yellow cards to make sure the children are up to date, but they don't actually distribute the vaccine or administer the vaccine. So here, CHW looks at Anna's vaccination card and notices that there was another vaccine that was provided recently that wasn't recorded in E-Heza. And so here, you can see the calendar automatically takes us to the date it was due. You can adjust that if you'd like, but for now, we're going to just use that date. And we're going to save it. And now you can see that she is completely up to date on all of her vaccines. Now, in this particular case, we have a comprehensive home assessment for community health workers that was created based on the request of the National Child Development Agency in Rwanda. So I'll just very quickly go through these responses, but you can also pull out activities and just have an immunization module as well, or any specific module that you would like. Go here. And all of this is done on a smartphone for community health workers, as well as in health centers, they tend to use a tablet. You can take a photo of a child if you'd like. Families love that because you can send it to them on WhatsApp. Here, automatically generates when the child is due for her next vaccination, next pediatric visit as well. And now you have all of the progress report. You can now see that everything is up to date on her vaccinations. And if you would like to, you can send JPEGs of each of these sections of the progress report. And I'll put here, I'll put, and then you can see that you can choose whatever information you want to have sent. And then each of these sections will be sent by in a JPEG format to the WhatsApp number that we gave. Okay. Now we'll end the encounter. And I'd like to just show you a couple of other features here. Here you can also see our dashboards. This can be found at the community level, health facility level, district level, and province level, as well as nationally. You can see by month the overview of activities for community health workers. And then you can click into each of these sections: antenatal care, child nutrition, acute illness, and group education, to see the variety of activities and data that you're looking for. Now, when you click on acute illness, we have the opportunity to dive more deeply into information like COVID, malaria, and gastroenteritis. But you can also see, for example, a diagram that highlights the main causes of fever by diagnosis. And so in this case, you can see that half of the people who had a fever in this community, seen by a community health worker in May, half were diagnosed with COVID, the other half were diagnosed with malaria. But it's also possible that they were diagnosed with a fever of unknown origin because no diagnosis was clear. That would also show up on this graph and can serve as a really powerful early warning sign. And in fact, this happened to us. At one point, we had one community that had really high rates of fever of unknown origin. We went to that site in Rwanda, and it turned out that they had run out of malaria test kits. And so we were able to quickly tackle that challenge. And I'd also like to show you this case management for community health workers. This allows the community health worker to see all of the different people that they're managing in the community. Here you can see, for example, that this community health worker is managing someone with uncomplicated malaria and can do a follow-up visit by clicking this arrow. Suspected COVID-19, gastroenteritis with complications, any of these, they can click the arrow and continue their assessment. You can see that this is also the case for antenatal care in the community, and this is for nutrition follow-up. And then here's for immunizations. You can see that this child is past due on immunization, so you can click this arrow, and that will allow you to do a home visit to check on Anna, make sure that she's had her vaccines, and if not, remind her to go to the health center. We have similar case management opportunities for tuberculosis and for HIV care in the community. And with that, I will sign out. Thank you very much for listening. This is the community health worker version. At the health center, it is slightly different because at the health center, you're able to do much more, including actually administer the vaccines. At the health center level, once the vaccine is administered, it also appears on the same shared progress report, so the community health worker can see that it was performed. Thank you so very much for your time.